We are here at the Mitchell Ness pop-up store. We are in Chicago, and I am joined by a tenured Duke professor. and it might not be who you think it is based on that description, but it is legendary hip-hop producer of the group Little Brother, and that is Ninth Wonder.
What's up, bro?
How you doing, man?
How you doing?
I don't know if you ever had that introduction.
No, I haven't. Coming from a Carolina fan, he's very nice to me at that particular
Well,
point.
it hurt my heart. I'm from Henderson, North Carolina, a
Right.
small town in North Carolina,
Yep.
and everywhere where I'm from, like, we can't go to Duke. So, we don't identify with Duke, and we all want to go to Duke, I guess, deep down maybe. There's
it is a very prestigious school. We we only take the bit. No, I'm joking, man. I'm joking, yeah. But it is. We live in a University of North Carolina State. I will give you that. It
Absolutely.
is a Tar Heel State, 100%. But we just a better program right now, and it's okay. It's okay.
We're not going to bring up that game from last week because that'll hurt my heart too much.
Why not? We can talk about it. I got a 5-minute breakdown. 19 free throws you missed. Cole turned over the ball twice. A couple of missed rebounds. Some more missed free throws.
We didn't even want to win that game. Ninth, we didn't even want to win that game.
Man, y'all love 77-64 with 4 minutes left.
3 minutes left, 13-point lead. It all went downhill.
It all went downhill. But you did it against
uphill,
Clemson. You did it against Clemson. You were up by 10 with 1:50 left against Clemson, and it all went downhill.
But we didn't foul, and we were up 3. And this time we decided to foul Duke, and then
this has been that kind of season for y'all. Man. I'm sorry.
It's been a tough season for
Very
them
tough
Tar
season.
Heels.
For people that can't see this right now, Ninth Wonder is laughing at me as he says that. He's not saying that nicely. He thinks it's funny.
But y'all will be better next year. Y'all got some players coming. You got Caleb Love coming in, R.J. Davis, Deshaun Sharp.
Yeah. I love that you know our recruits
Walker
coming
Kessler.
in.
I'm a basketball guy.
This is a basketball guy.
Exactly. So we're here for the NBA All-Star Weekend. We get the 69th All-Star Game. 32 years since we've been in
1988.
Chicago. Yeah,
The last
1988. So let's talk about that. The 1988 All-Star Game. That was 2 North Carolina guys competing in the dunk contest. We got Dominique Wilkins versus Michael Jordan.
Yep.
There's a lot of controversy here because a lot of people think that maybe Dominique should have won. As a Michael Jordan North Carolina fan, I know that Michael should have won. But Ninth, you're on the other side of that. Are you on with Dominique in this? Or
It's weird with me, man, because I'm probably one of the biggest Michael Jordan fans ever. I mean, just from the standpoint of learning his stats and all that type of stuff. But the North Carolina side of Michael Jordan, I kind of blank out. I know nothing about that. But
let's just make this real.
Yeah,
The North Carolina.
Yeah,
Those
never
3
watched
years
that.
we
Did not
never
see
saw.
that.
I never saw him. I kind of picked up on Mike
Right.
when he went to the Olympics. You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
You know Michael, not Mike. You just know
I
Michael.
remember the shot and all. I get the shot. But it was a 1988 dunk contest, and a lot of people felt like Dominique should have won,
Yeah.
Right.
and they kept saying Mike was doing the same jump from the free throw line over and over, kissed the rim, but Dominique did the windmill like 3-4 times, and it was the same thing. But I mean, I thought it, and it was crazy. That was a crazy year because Mike won MVP of
40
the league,
points in the All-Star Game.
the All-Star game. He was Defensive Player of the Year, leading scorer. Like, he had an incredible season that year. So, but the Bulls itself was not really still. They were turning the corner at the time, and I think we had just got Scotty and Horace. So we were just trying to figure it out. But. And it turned out to be good, I guess.
Yeah,
His
it turned
career
out
turned to be all right,
It turned out to be great.
Tell us
This
a
man
little-
had a lot to do with it.
No, for sure. I want to hear a little bit about this love for basketball that you have.
Oh,
Where
my
did
God.
Where did this come from? Tell us about your career.
My brother was very good in basketball. Coming out of high school, he was highly recruited. Coming out in 1982, and so I kind of picked it up. I came from a basketball family, like my mom and dad. My mom was the person who wore Charles Douthat is my son on the back of her shirt. You know what I mean? Number 42. You know what I mean? So I just kind of grew up around it, and growing up in North Carolina, as you know.
Yep.
During the ACC tournament, they rolled the TV in the
You don't even learn
classroom.
anything. Like if you're in the middle
No.
of math,
During
like,
the
they're like,
ACC
it doesn't
tournament.
matter about subtraction. We're gonna watch the games now.
Really?
Yeah.
ACC tournament in North Carolina around 12 o'clock, man. They would roll the TV in. When we used to have the TV on the platform,
of course.
we'll order pizza and we would watch the ACC tournament for the next 2 days, right? If you had a teacher that was cool enough.
Yeah.
So it's we're a basketball country. And so, like watching basketball through the 80s and listening to hip-hop at the same time, whether it be Georgetown being the blackest team, the whitest school.
Whitest school,
Right.
yeah.
But at the same time, Chuck D wore Georgetown jackets. So that was a was a kinship there, all the way up until when you got into the 90s, it was, one and the same. So I just fell in love with ball. I mean, I played in high school, but then when I got to college, I played like intramurals and pickup.
Right.
But I met a guy that I went to North Carolina Central with by the name of Lavelle Moulton, and I was like, I'm not good. He's actually good. And he ended up becoming one of the leading scorers at Central. Now he's the head coach at North Carolina Central, of course, and one of my good friends. So, again, it's just a basketball environment, and I just fell in love with it. And so now my daughter is 15. She plays. She loves the game. She studies the game. She was bothering me this morning about the video. I had a tape a game video last night, and she was hitting me this morning and said, Daddy, did you get the video? Did you get the video? Because she wants to watch the game. She wants to watch and study the game. So I just basketball. And so then I started a travel basketball team called the Carolina Dream for girls, and then ended up teaching at Duke and player after player after player, and met Jason Maiden, then met Carlton DuBose, and ended up at Nike EYBL and Peach Jam, and now, although I don't want to see Cole do bad, but Cole is one of my kids. Armando Bacot is one of my kids.
Oh, wow.
Tyrese Maxey is one of my kids. Scotty Barnes, Isaiah Stewart, Trent Wofford at LSU. Like, all these kids I met through EYBL. And so I taught Zion, I taught Marvin, I taught Wendell Carter and Wendell Moore, Cassius, everybody. So now I'm in this position where I'm like, okay, what do I do next? You know what I mean? But I just love the game, man. I'm a statistician. All my boys know I'm a statistician. Don't get into an argument with me. I'll start kicking facts.
That's honestly the most North Carolina thing about you, because as soon as I brought up North Carolina Duke, you just started throwing numbers at me.
It's
It
all
felt like
about
I was
numbers.
back home.
Numbers,
Yeah,
man.
yeah. You're like 4 minutes left. What happened? I'm like, was it a travel?
Numbers.
You're
All
like,
about
no. What is
numbers.
Analytics here?
It's analytics.
It's a different level of analytics.
I get into a big argument about, the 90s Bulls, and they didn't play anybody, and I'm like, the hell? Like, so I started.
What you think? Here, we want to know what you think about that.
I think that's a damn lie, because I mean, and it's crazy. I'm talking about, you would know this, like the 93 Phoenix Suns, their first 6 players averaged double figures. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, from Barkley to Richard Dumas, bro, they averaged double figures in the regular season. Like,
this is serious.
No, I
this
love
is
it.
dead serious.
Yeah.
Even the 92 Portland Trailblazers, which still to this day, other than the 77 Trailblazers, that's probably the best Trailblazers team we've seen since, right? And then Magic, everybody like, well, Magic was old. He won the MVP the year before they went to the finals in 91. He won the MVP the year because he wasn't old, right? And so even talking about the teams that had to beat in the Eastern Conference Finals and semifinals, we're talking about you're playing against dynasties. Now you play against players, but now you used to play against dynasties, right? Then the Knicks in the 90s. Like, I don't know too many players now, although they're built physically strong. I don't know too many players that can mentally handle the Knicks in the Garden in 1992. So I'm
you're
talking
right.
to a lip. I'm talking a
You're
part of
preaching
it.
right now. Yeah.
You.
So that's what I mean. Like, it's to say they didn't play anybody. Not only did they play some of the best teams, they played some of the best coaches and masterminds of the game. You know what I mean? Whether it be Eidelman or Westphal or Riley, Daly. Look at these, you know what I mean? Like, all of these coaches that you're going up against, Lenny Wilkins, night in and night out, who shaped the game as we know it to be. What you mean you're not playing against anybody? You know what I mean? So that's a lie. That is a lie.
That's a cold, hard lie. Yeah, put that out to the world. And it's funny because, like, the basketball, you're supposed to pass the baton, right? You're supposed to, like, learn something and then pass on the game. And when you try to divide the generations by saying you played nobody, the game is totally different, you do a disservice to the game of basketball, which is the whole point, and why you have to point out all these legends who were there in the 90s. With Patrick Ewing, when he was the #1 pick, people were crying because it was a guarantee that he was going to win so many championships, and he didn't because of a team, the Bulls, that was beating. You know what I mean? Like,
yo, man, listen. Mike stopped 41 people for 41. He took 41 players to the finals and got them a ring. But the list of players he didn't do it by himself, of course. But
yeah, he did.
But
I'm just saying.
Nah, he didn't because, man, I'd rather you taking a shot a lot of times than other folk on the team. But I mean,
Luke Longley's hurt right now hearing that.
Mike never won with a, the Bulls never had an established big man.
Mm-hmm.
If we run down the list of big men they had over the years, it's like, come on, bro. Like, although they play hard, Livingston played hard, Dickie Simpkins played when he played, Jason Caffey, Scott Williams.
Cartwright.
I mean, listen to what we talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Cartwright, Daley, Longley, bruh. Like, man, we struggle with finding a big man. It was just like a plug and play after a while.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
But still, I mean, it was just a different time, man. Like, it was a different time. You can hand check. The flagrant foul, a flagrant one was a regular foul.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the rules were completely different. So I don't know, even the offenses they run now, would it be able to work during that time? Because, I mean, you can play in the guy's chest. It was all different at the time. So,
What do you think of the game? What do you think of the game today?
I think athletically, like, I'm looking at some of these EYBL teams now, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm thinking to myself, in high school, they would have beat us by 50. Like, easy.
Yeah.
Like, but you do have a lot of players who are just naturally gifted but still don't know the game. So they come in, you go to an EYBL thing, everything's so fast. They're acting off instinct until they get in front of a coach that actually teaches them how to play. And you can see them slow down and slow down and slow down. Like, one of the players, that's in EYBL now, that's going to Oklahoma State, is Cade Cunningham.
Yeah.
He's one of the ones who
Carolina, Duke recruited him as well. Yeah.
Right, they did,
wow.
And he's one of the ones, he's best point guard in the country. He's like he's a 6'8" guy who's 6'7", who's like a Brevin Knight and Andre Miller together.
Yeah, that's a great way. Yeah, that's a great way to describe it.
He's paced. You can't rush him. You can't speed him up. He plays the game right. He can throw a chest pass on a line from one end of the court to another, and you can land right in. Like, he's that type of player. But it's not a lot of him because everybody's so fast. Because what they see on IG, they want the highlights or whatever. Until they get in front of a Coach K or Roy Williams and say, "Hey, slow down. Let's learn the game."
Right.
And so you get into a league where now the league is infested with 18-year-olds fresh out of travel basketball, as opposed to in the 80s and 90s, you're playing against 22-year-old men. Like,
Who had been coached by Lefty Drizel and all these guys who were legends back then.
Like, Buck Williams was a man. You understand what I mean? Like, these dudes were like big, like
Right.
Kevin Willis, Otis Thorpe. Like, these dudes are like big grown men, but they also knew the game too. You know what I mean? But now you just got these big kids who can actually run and jump, but they really don't understand the ins and outs of the game. And they learn that coming to the league, and that's what takes them so long to adjust. That's what takes. We expect them to look like a LeBron coming in, but that's one in a million coming in doing what LeBron is doing. Brandon Ingram is just now turning the corner because he's learning how to play the game, right? So.
And it's one of those things, we talk about this all the time. There is no prep for the NBA. Like, the college basketball game is not the NBA game. It's totally different. AAU and EYBL and all this stuff is totally different than the NBA. So when you go to the NBA, you're playing a different game of basketball anyway. Right. So you have to learn on the fly. And if you don't have any sort of foundational skills to rely on,
You G League, the G League. You playing for the Iowa Stampede or
you're in Cedar
the
Rapids.
Erie Bayhawks. Or
Yeah.
You playing for the Santa Cruz
Or the Greensboro Swarm.
You Greensboro Swarm. Like, you're playing for any of those cats, and you don't have a chance to. The maturation of college, and we can get into the whole thing about the NCAA, if you pay them or not, but just the idea of the maturation of college, the maturation of a player being at a school 3 or 4 years under a legendary coach helps that player going into the NBA.